Hello and welcome to the Outside Line podcast. I'm Peter.
And I'm Emma.
And we're here to talk about all the serious and silly aspects of Formula One and other motorsports. So, Emma, did you see any of the safety cars this weekend?
There was a lot of safety cars. I saw a couple, yeah. And that was in one race that I watched. So, yes. Yeah. So we're going to talk about the feeder series ladder. Mm-hmm. And that is something I've noticed from looking in the last couple of years, is that it's just basically safety car after safety car. It's crazy. Well, I mean, it's a lot of children racing.
Yeah.
So, and they're learning. That's
it's where they're supposed to make their mistakes, but I don't know, my complaint last time was that it's basically just means like qualifying is the main thing, and there's no real racecraft, but maybe that you learn that later. What you're supposed to learn is just go fast, just get a hot lap in. I think
go fast is where people take notice of you, to move you into the higher series. So but you kind of want to be learning some racecraft. Just a little bit.
Yeah, you need to complete some laps. Anyway, before we get to that, let's talk about the weekly news. I thought we'd start with the fact that Turkey is coming back to F1.
It is.
This is interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if it's meant to be like a permanent one or if it's going to be one of the rotational ones. Who knows? But it's going to be there for 5 years, so that's nice.
Yeah, so in 2027, which is next year.
Next year.
Yeah, it's returning. That's good. I think it's an okay track. I mean, I remember they went there during lockdown, I think, one of those years, and it seemed like fun. Except they'd repaved it or something, and so it was all slippery and stuff, but I think the track looked good. Yeah, it's just it's probably going to come at the expense of some other track, isn't it? But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Especially if they're talking about getting like South Africa.
Yeah, that's the thing, is we're losing a lot of tracks and then we're gaining these like shit ones that no one wants, like Madrid.
Yeah, Madrid. Nobody wants that. At least it's sort of replacing Barcelona. Like
I'd rather have Barcelona.
Yeah, so would I. But
yeah. But we still get Monaco.
Yeah, you can't. I don't mind Monaco being there. I'd prefer if Baku and Singapore went there.
Yeah. I don't mind Monaco being there only because F2 does Monaco, and that's good. Yeah. But, and qualifying's good, but that's it. But maybe not this year with the new cars.
Oh, yeah. Goodness, yeah. Well, I mean, we're still learning a bit more about the rule changes that they're trying to iron out some of the stuff. We'll see in Miami next week whether it's a bit better or not. Some teams, they've had a long break, so some teams hopefully bring some updates. So
let's hope.
We're vaguely looking forward to seeing. I mean, what's going to happen, right, is that nothing's really going to change except McLaren will be faster than Ferrari, so it'll just be them leapfrogging with the Mercedes for a few laps and then losing. But then the other thing I made a note of was, do you know Franco Colapinto?
Yeah, I have heard of him.
He's quite popular in Argentina, do you know?
Yes. I saw the packed out streets to see him do a donut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of people there. Like almost 1 million people turn up just to see him. Like, mad. Someone pointed out that, like Paul Aaron, who some people think could replace him, like that would be like if the entire country of Estonia turned up just to see him, like do 10 minutes, like.
Oh.
So I think that means he's not being replaced anytime soon, is he? I mean, with that level of fandom.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same as Perez in Mexico, right? He is the most important athlete in Mexico, I guess. Even though Pato Award exists, which is just bizarre to me. But, sure, go after Checo. Yeah. I mean, good for him. that he has a lot of fans that send death threats to people.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I don't think F1 won't be racing in Argentina anytime soon if Colapinto gets shit canned.
Yeah. if he gets sacked mid-season, that it won't be allowed to go. So
yeah. Good. Okay, let's move on to this week's episode, and we're going to be talking about the feeder series.
Yay!
So basically, all the tiers of racing, like single-seater racing, to get you up to the highest level. I guess first we have to say, what is the highest level?
F1.
Is it?
Allegedly, yes. The pinnacle. The pinnacle of motorsport.
No, I mean, it is.
Yeah, well, at the moment.
Oh, well, yeah, at the moment, maybe it's not the pinnacle, but yeah. But there is IndyCar, maybe some people, that's what they want to do, that's their dream.
Yeah, but I guess IndyCar is like the American version.
Yeah.
So
there's also like Formula E, which is like a professional world championship single-seater series.
Yeah. That's another one that's kind of on its own. It doesn't have its own feeder series. It's there.
Yeah.
And like people move from F2 to Formula E now.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I guess it's like, you either go into F1 or you go into Formula E, maybe.
Yeah, I think you aim for F1 and then,
and then you end up in Formula E.
Yeah,
and become a world champion.
Not to be too mean about FE, I mean, I like
no,
FE.
Because I think Formula E is the best racing series at the minute, so...
Could be, yeah, could be.
It definitely is better than F1.
Yeah, at the minute, maybe. Should also mention F1.5, which I think is like Super Formula.
Yes.
I guess if you're Japanese, maybe that's kind of like the pinnacle. Even though we have seen...
F1 is still the aim.
Yeah.
When you're in Super Formula, I think. But I always think it's kind of interchangeable with F2 because a lot of so Japanese drivers come from Super Formula into F2.
Yeah.
Like Ritomo Miyata. But then F2 drivers go from F2 to Super Formula. So I think they're on a very similar level.
Yes. I agree. It's just, just not to offend any Japanese listeners. But, I'm thinking of it just as, it's a professional, single-seater. You can't... You could have a career being a Super Formula driver, right? So.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, everybody's aiming. Everyone wants to get into F1, but it's really hard. And also, there's not that many seats. Would you say on average maybe 1 or 2 seats a year come up at most?
Yeah, I think it was a massive anomaly when we had 6 rookies last year.
Yeah. But then we hadn't had any kind of new blood for ages, really.
Yeah, we didn't. We went a couple of years without any, or just having 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is. There is 22 seats, and some of those seats are blocked.
Exactly.
So yeah, so your chances of getting there is it's very much right place, right time, right person to get into F1.
Yes. Can you see any seats coming up, in the near future? It's hard, I think.
No top seats, I wouldn't say. I think it depends on how well people perform. So, the V-carb is always a maybe.
Yeah,
they're chop and change so much that's always an option.
Yeah.
If Lance Stroll decides he wants to get into GT racing, could be an option.
Yeah, and also Alonso.
If Alonso's
going to have to retire at some point.
Yeah, well, so is Lewis. Lewis is going to have to retire at some point as well.
Well, Lewis, I expect maybe next year, but after that, I'd say he's gone.
Yeah.
But then they already have someone lined up, basically, so that's not a free seat, I would say. So.
Yeah, I also think that, in terms of some of the lesser teams, call them, the lower teams, they don't go for excellence. They just go for a safe pair of hands. So, Ocon, Gasly.
Yeah.
you know, you want someone who's going to be consistent and not crash a lot, and you don't want a rookie in that sort of, like, especially if, you know, like Williams when they had Logan, poor Logan, I miss him. He did crash a lot and he cost them a lot of money, and it was, you know, it was silly of James Vowles to keep him for that extra half a year, but there you go.
Yeah, I think they have that model now of like one experienced driver who can maybe score some points, give feedback to the engineers and stuff, you know, and then they take a risk on one rookie occasionally and give them maybe 2 seasons or season and a half, and see what happens. And if it ends up costing them too much money, then
you've got to get rid of them.
Yeah, so there could be 1 or 2 seats, I think. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway.
I do think there's always a chance of 1 or 2 seats, but it's not, you know.
Yeah.
It is very dependent on who's any good, who, you know, we might have a complete, you know, how much of a shock was Lewis going to Ferrari? That was like out of nowhere. We might get a shock retirement off someone, you know, Max.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, there's so many drivers that it could be. That's what you realize. Like, even in F2, so pretty much all the drivers come from F2, I would say, or GP2 before that. You don't really see anybody transferring from anywhere else. I guess Nick de Vries, but that didn't work very well. Yeah. Is that who you were going to say, or did you have?
Yeah, Nick de Vries. Well, but he did do F2 though.
Yeah.
And then he went to Formula E and then came back. So
yeah, I think you could do the IndyCar to, if you had the super license points, I think you could go from IndyCar to Formula One.
Yes, I do think Alex Palou should at least try it, but I don't think anyone would hire him after what he did with McLaren. So,
well, you'd have to build in some pretty strong penalties into your contract.
Yeah.
But well, we talked about him before, but it only makes sense for him to move if it's one of the big 4, and it's not likely a seat opens up there. Or, well, you never know. I guess
also don't think, apart from McLaren, anyone is really paying attention to IndyCar. That sounds really mean, but no one actually gives a shit about IndyCar. But I think that's because maybe. IndyCar think that they're better than F1.
Yeah, and F1 think that they're better, yeah.
I know, but I don't even think that. I think F1 don't think about IndyCar at all.
Oh, yeah, I don't even think of you at all.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Like, you know, maybe. You think you're better than me. No, I don't. I don't even think about you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, you have to come from F2. Then I guess we should also mention that IndyCar does have its own kind of feeder series.
Yes.
Or its own ladder. And so IndyNXT, I would put as like F2.5. You know, the cars aren't quite as fast. But you could, well, as we've seen, you could go from one to the other.
Yeah, I think going from F2 to IndyNXT is a step down.
Yeah.
Because we've seen, you know, Dennis Hauger completely destroy everyone when he was kind of mid in F2. Yeah. And, you know, people like Niels Coughlan who go backwards in F2.
Well, I would agree with you, except I looked up this year that Juan Manuel Carrera and Enzo Fittipaldi moved from F2 to IndyNXT, and they have not been doing so well. So
no, Juan Carrera.
Yeah, maybe IndyNXT is not as weak as we thought.
Does that mean Niels Coughlan's better than we thought?
No, he's still lower than them, but don't worry about that. No.
So I was going to say, like, that man used to go backwards every week, so...
No, he's still like we're talking like P15 versus P20. I mean,
right? Yeah, okay.
Neither's that good, but you know, one of them is.
Yeah.
Like one of them is like maybe you should give up, I'd say, but the other one's not. Yeah, so I don't know. I thought we'd see a wave of F2 people move in, but apparently, I don't know.
I think it's because F2 is like European. I think people are reluctant to move to America
Yeah.
to take part in IndyNXT. Whereas I do think we are going to see more of the F2 drivers looking at Formula E.
Yes.
Considering, I mean, Taylor was doing well, but after he's killing all his teams, he's not doing so well because the DS Penske is terrible this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, even like Zane Maloney's doing pretty good. Pepe Marti's, well, he doesn't know what yellow flags mean, but he'll get there.
Yeah, Felipe Drugovich. I mean, did he win F2?
He did win F2, but he won F2 about 4 years ago.
So he's forgotten how to drive, basically.
He's forgotten how to drive. That's why he's not doing amazingly. I mean, he got pole position once, didn't he? So, but then he crashed. So, his excuse is that he hasn't driven for a long time because Aston Martin were keeping him on the whatever it's called.
Payroll?
No, just like leading him along, stringing him along.
Oh, I see. Yeah, but I mean,
it's his own fault.
Yeah, if it's Alonso and the owner's son, maybe you probably don't have a chance. Like, it's not so likely.
I mean, you're looking at like, how old's Alonso now? 45? Yeah. You're thinking like, someday this man is going to retire.
Yeah.
But not yet.
Yeah.
I still think he'll be driving when he's like 80.
Maybe.
He'll be driving and his child will be driving alongside him.
Oh, like LeBron in basketball, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some stat about LeBron that he's played like against like 20 father and son, so Alonso will be around to see the next gen of,
well, I mean, Alonso raced against, as most likely raced against at least 2, right? Was he there when Jos was there? Probably not, actually.
No,
he missed Jos by a couple of years.
Yeah,
but he definitely raced against Michael and Mick.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
good. So then, right underneath F2, you have F3. It's very rare. Like, again, nobody really goes into F2 without going through F3.
Yeah.
This year we had Herta, but he was already in IndyCar, like a higher series, and Verone, who's coming from WEC. So but basically everybody else has gone through F3. So you got to get into F3.
Mm-hmm.
Then actually the F3 season, I was looking at it today. It's only like 9 races or something. Like
they don't do a lot. They
don't really do a lot to determine, like, considering how important it is to get into F2. Then
it's not. I think you could do multiple F3 seasons though, and still get into F2.
Yes.
Whereas with F2, it's like you kind of want to do the back-to-back win.
Yeah,
to get into F1.
Back-to-back means means F1 can't really ignore you, although they have in the past.
Yes,
but it's usually it usually means somebody will take you at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but F2, I think you could get away with. Like, that's one thing I've realized is that you can have mediocre seasons and still kind of step up to the next level and be successful.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that means that it means you had a lot of money behind you, and that's all the teams care about, or B, it means teams actually, like, their scouts actually know something.
Yeah.
Because I've talked in the past about that. I have a feeling people like Flavio or Helmut Marko don't know anything, basically. That they got lucky once and then they've just sort of like skated off that, and that they don't really have it. Like, so they, So, but maybe it does mean
they must know something.
I mean, Behrman and Antonelli last year, or the year before, were not they were in a bad car, but they also didn't.
That promo was shit.
They didn't look that impressive. Like, you wouldn't like they're future world champions or something. Looking at them,
I mean,
they might be.
Ollie's first season, he was pretty good.
That's true.
So he was all right, but the second season was less than good. But he basically already got the Haas contract anyway, at that point, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah, but he had the luck. That's the other thing, is you need a lot of luck, I would say. So he had the luck that Sainz's appendix exploded or something. So
yeah,
he got to
drive a Ferrari.
Drive a Ferrari and did pretty well, for
yes. Well, he was in a Ferrari, so he shouldn't be last,
exactly.
should he?
No, but yeah, he still did better than you'd expect. So
yeah. But I think also it's like being part of a driver academy does really, really help. Apart from Alpine, because they just have everyone. So being in the Alpine Academy means nothing. But the other academies, definitely. Red Bull, particularly, you are probably guaranteed a seat if you're in the Red Bull Academy, unless you do something very, very drastic and get kicked out. A couple of names come to mind. Yeah, I mean, Alpine, don't bother. Don't sign up with Alpine Academy because you'll get dropped after a year. McLaren, again, don't bother because they aren't getting rid of their driver lineup. Ferrari, yeah, pretty good if you want to drive a Haas. Who else? Don't bother with Aston Martin because you're never getting a job. That was my little quick rundown of what teams you should join.
Yeah, I mean, basically, probably more. They pay a little bit of money, not that much, I think, but they do pay a little. And I presume you get sim work, sim time.
You'll
and
get
stuff and
sim time. You'll get talk to the drivers and access to the staff and the coaches and stuff like that. I imagine.
Yeah,
and the facilities. So
at the F2 level, they're obliged to put people in for FP for FP1 2 times a year for each car.
Yeah.
So you will get some F1 experience, but if you're with McLaren, Aston Martin, you should have your contract that you can get out of it pretty easily.
Yeah.
You don't want to be like Felipe stuck there for 4 years or something. But yeah.
The thing with Felipe is I think he just genuinely just held on the off chance that he would get to F1. And I think him going to Formula E now is he's given up on that.
Yeah.
But he should have given up before.
Yeah, or maybe switch to another team.
Switch to a different team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he could have been hanging around standing behind Toto before Fred Vesti was.
Right, so F3, then it gets a bit more interesting on where do they come from to go into F3.
Yeah.
So I did look at this year's lineup to see what series they'd raced in before. And of course they do lots of, there's a lot of overlap and there's a lot of people who do this series, then this, then this. But basically this year, nearly let's say 3/4 of them came from FREC, or FRECA as it used to be known. So that's so we should say underneath F3 is this Formula Regional level.
Yep.
Yeah, so there was this reorganization 2017 to 2019 seems to be when a lot of these things were set up. That they tried to make an international F3 where they merged GP3 with the European F3, and that made that series, and then that left a gap at the kind of European level, and that's where Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine came into it, and that's now called FREC, and that seems to be the one.
No longer by Alpine.
Yeah, Alpine, they got a new engine, new car this year, so but most of the people who made it into F3 came from FREC, or at least did some time in FREC. After that, there's quite a few came from this thing called Euro Cup 3, which is sort of interesting because it's not sanctioned by the FIA. You don't get any super license points for doing it, although I think they're going to change it. But it's really popular. There's 28 drivers this year. And it's basically replacing this thing called Euro Formula Open, which was the Spanish F3. Euro Cup 3 is also owned by Spain, basically. It's kind of mainly based in Spain, although they go all over Europe, of course. But I think it's like a breakaway, that the team sort of created a breakaway from Euro Formula Open. and Euroformula Open is dying. It only has 11 drivers this year, so. And it's what Spanish F3 used to be. It came from Spanish F3. Yeah, and then also you should mention GB3, which we'll talk about a little bit more because it started this weekend, and it kind of emerged from British F3, but again, it's not quite FIA sanctioned. It does give super license points, but like it's at almost the lowest you can get. Like if you race in NASCAR, you get the same amount of super license points.
Oh my god.
And then, so they're basically, if you want to get into F3, you should probably do one of those series and kind of impress.
Yeah.
But there are lots of other Formula Regional kind of level. So there's like Formula Regional Asia, Formula Regional Americas, all over the place.
Oceania,
yeah. And Middle East. I was going to talk about them later because they're kind of winter series, which give them that sort of, that makes them a bit more popular, I think, because of that.
Yeah.
But usually, if you make it to like Formula Regional Americas, like it's not enough. Like even if you win that, it's not enough to get into F3. You need, unless you have enough money. That's always the caveat. But
yes,
even then, you should probably do, a season of FREC if you can. And then at this level, Formula Regional, Super Formula Lights is there, and USF Pro 2000, which are kind of the feeder series for Super Formula in Japan, and that's like the third tier for the IndyCar, the path to the road to IndyCar. Then, underneath this, lowest level is F4. So if, like most kids, they do karting up to some age, and then F4 might be like the first time they've driven in like kind of a proper car. And then basically every country has an F4. So there's loads and loads and loads of them. But
and
again,
F1 Academy is also F4 level.
Exactly.
Despite the name.
Yes.
Which confuses a lot of people.
Yeah, we've discussed it before that.
It's at length.
It's not a good name. Yeah. So the main F4, I would say, British F4 seems to be quite important to do.
That's a popular one.
GB4. Again, like the difference between GB4 and British F4 is more like, I think, is to do with like the cost, because they are still pretty expensive. So a season in FREC, they say, might cost something like $1 million per season at one of the big teams. But so I think GB3 is cheaper than that, quite a bit cheaper than that, and GB4 is a bit cheaper than British F4. But yeah, that's why there's sort of two ones based in the UK. And then Italian F4 seems to be quite a popular one. A lot of people will do that, but also French F4, the Czech, Austria, Hungary, Slovakia one seems also quite important. So, but yeah, and again, people move from one to the other and stuff, but usually you see them do Italian F4 or British F4 at some point. Those seem to be the kind of the biggest ones. So it might just be historical, or it might be maybe the bigger like the British-based teams. They're the ones they compete in, so that's where you get noticed. Yes, and as I said, there's the Winter Series. So this seems to be quite a good way to go and get some extra experience. Like they're not that competitive, but like they are quite good. So yeah, as you said, Formula Regional Oceania. All of these happen in like December, January, February. So in the season break in Europe, for the international one as well. People will go there. In the Middle East, there's Formula Trophy, which I think you said is like the most generic name. Like
it's so generic. It sounds like a PS2 game.
Yeah.
Like a knockoff F1 Formula Trophy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
You also have the UAE 4, Saudi F4. You see a lot of people go there, and Formula Regional Middle East Trophy. So the trophy thing is something new the FIA have brought in to be like, if you only do like 3 or 4 races, you can't call yourself a championship. You have to call yourself a trophy. So, so there's Formula Regional Middle East Trophy, and that was very popular this year because they had the same car as FREC. and it was the first time you had the possibility to race that car, so a lot of people raced there to get like a head start in FREC.
Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah, if you have the money, good idea. And then there's also a few other ones based in like Italy, Spain, where the winter's not so bad. So there's E4, not the shit British TV channel that shows Friends.
British TV channel. Is that still a thing?
I don't know. I've not looked at it in a decade. I don't think it's a
thing anymore, so it's okay.
E4 is basically a spin-off of Italian F4. Basically, you can do a few more races in Italian F4. There's a Euro Cup 3 Spanish Winter, Euro Cup 4 Spanish Winter, Formula Winter as well. Again,
Formula Winter.
Yeah, I think it's another. They're all based in Spain and Portugal, but it's like Formula Winter.
Formula Winter.
So that I think it's a good way to get if you can afford it, to get a bit of extra experience. Racing.
Don't sit and do nothing like Felipe Drugovich for 4 years. You get out of practice.
Yeah, so that's the ladder, right? I mean, it's very. I think the main thing is money. Then after that, a bit of luck, and then after that, a bit of talent. Is kind of what determines things. Like, but
I mean, if you are a marketable child and can get sponsorship, then you're probably fine. But yeah, it is. Money is the big prohibitive thing.
Yeah.
And then, talent is the last thing people are looking for, which is unfortunate, really.
Yeah, it's also
kind of want the best, but
quite brutal in that, like, you have one season to kind of prove yourself, and like you could be completely different the next year, but you might not get the opportunity. So yeah, it's tough. You know, some people, you see them like come back, like they'll do well in an F4 series, but then stay an extra year, because I think it really helps with their development, and then it allows them to do better the next year. It's a bit, but then if you don't quite have the money and can't take that risk, you got to move on as soon as possible. I also feel bad for the people who, like, I've come across a few names which have done like FREC, not done that well, then they'll do like GB3, not do that well, and then they'll go to like Euro Cup 3, and like, it's like, I mean, are you going to make it if you've had to do like, but then maybe you will develop into like a really good driver, but
no, but I do think it's like, you're starting your career, you want to start your career, but there has to be a point where you realise you aren't going to be able to do this as a job.
Yeah.
But I guess you do need to have a level of delusion to be a racing driver, I think, because you've got to believe the hype. Yeah.
But it is. I mean, it is. It's sad to see that there will be a lot. Like, there will be talents who probably could make it to F1, but don't because of the funding, or just because of bad luck that they get taken out by somebody, or it's a mad thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the ladder. Will we talk about a few of the races we saw this weekend?
Yeah, why not?
So,
did it happen?
It did happen.
I only caught one of them. I only watched one FREC race.
Yeah, I watched quite a few of them, but they've all merged together because they're all quite similar. So, also, as discussed, there's not so much happening because there's a lot of safety cars. So, quite a few red flags, quite a few safety cars. So really,
you don't get a lot of action.
Not really. So it's more just to mention some names who might make it up further in the ladder.
Is it Kid Nakamura Berta?
Yes, but we have a few others as well. So FREC at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. As we said, there's no Alpine involvement this year, and it's a new car.
New car. It's got push to pass.
Exactly. You got 100 seconds of push to pass. which is interesting that they've gone for that, whereas GB3 have stuck with the DRS. But I guess it takes time to filter down, like what's happening in F1. But yeah.
Yeah.
FREC, very popular, 30 cars, which meant that the quali is split into two groups, basically. Like in the coverage, they have your friend, Chris.
My friend Chris McCarthy.
He's the main commentator. But then they have this guy down in the pit lane, this Aussie guy. Who,
I couldn't tell if he was Aussie or New Zealand.
Oh, actually, I didn't check. I just assumed. But,
yes, I couldn't tell.
But he was quite enthusiastic, and Chris.
He was very enthusiastic.
He kept like asking him, "What's the atmosphere like in the pits?" And I was like, "What do you expect him to say? What's he going to say?" He said it like 2 or 3 times. Yeah, weird.
It's because Chris is rubbish.
Yeah, that could be it. But
he couldn't remember his own name once. I'll never let him forget it.
Yeah, the pit lane guy whose name I don't know.
He's called Ian, I think.
Ian. He was trying to interview the drivers when they're in the car, but you couldn't hear anything they were saying.
Hear them? No, they were all muffled.
Yeah.
And his questions were weird.
Yeah.
What a weird guy.
Yeah, he was.
I really liked him.
Yeah,
I enjoyed him.
He was fun. Yeah. That was new. I don't think he was there last year. I don't remember him being there last year. But he seemed to know all the people. Like how you recognize like the team principal for like Prema or somebody in Formula Regional now.
That just tells you that he's good at his job.
Yeah.
And he's probably been around doing it for quite a while. Unlike, I mean, I'm glad that Chris is doing more commentary because that means he might be a bit better when F2 comes back this week. So,
Yeah.
But I don't hold out much hope.
So, let me run through a few names in the series that I thought could be interesting. The one I'm kind of most interested in is Ninovic.
Yeah.
Mainly because he won GB3 last year, and I think I have like a soft spot for GB3 because it's the cheap version, or like it's the poor man's version of FREC, and like he won it pretty well, but he didn't get the move to F3. So it's like, that's not fair. So I want to see if he does well in FREC. Like I wanted to prove that GB3
so that then he
good.
goes to F3.
Yeah. So
but then he'll have had to do FREC to get there. So
I know. Yeah, but I'm curious how it could be. Maybe FREC is just way more competitive, but we'll see.
Probably.
Then the aforementioned Keen Nakamura Berta.
Yes.
Japanese.
British-born, Japanese, Slovakian.
Yeah, exactly. He seemed to race under the British license, so I don't know. Does that mean they play the whatever it's called, the British national anthem?
Yes, probably.
Yeah. Anyway, he's quite excited. He won the Italian F4, the winter Italian F4 E4, and he won the Formula Regional Middle East Trophy. So he's really he is maybe the one to beat, and as it turns out,
he's the one to pay attention to because his name is so weird.
Yeah, it's an interesting name, and I thought I was racist because I was like, Nakamura? Isn't there another Japanese driver called Nakamura? And there is in GB3 someone called Jin Nakamura. So
yes, but he's Nakamura Berta. He's double-barreled.
Yeah. So he's worth keeping an eye on. Then, had you heard this word vice champion before? Because they kept using it. It just means
the person who came second.
I know. Would you not call that runner-up
Yeah, it feels like it's a very American word, I think.
Yeah, vice champion.
Vice champion feels a bit American.
Like they're trying to hype people up. So Gabriel Gomez, vice champion in Italian F4. So again, someone to look out for. Sebastian Welton came third in Italian F4, and of course is the son of Dan Welton.
Welton, yeah.
Who, sadly, the last person to die. Yeah, and won the Indy 500.
He won the Indy 500 a couple of times.
Yeah.
Also, he died.
Yeah, so I mean, again, I hope he does well because that's sad.
I want him to do well. He's one of those that I want to keep an eye on because I like nepotism sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Alexander Muniz, French F4 champion. Jules Roussel, he won Macau F4 that we covered last year. So yeah, we'll see how they do. But then, of course, there's 30 other ones, and maybe someone will come out of nowhere.
Yeah,
but
someone else will just
we'll
appear.
See. So Keen Nakamura Berta, he got pole for both the races. In race 1, he actually lost the lead to Rashid Al Tahiri.
Yes.
But then got it back later that lap. Then there was a bunch of safety cars. Then Weldon was fighting Ninovich, and that allowed Al Tahiri to overtake both of them, and ended up getting P2 after he'd fallen back a bit. And so finishes, Nakamura Berta wins, Al Tahiri second, Weldon third, Alex Ninovich, he was third, but got demoted to P12. So
no.
Yeah, unfortunate. Then race 2, that's the reverse grid. Al Tahiri made up 10 places to win it. It was mad.
Nice. He might be one to watch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it probably is. Lisa Seaworthen, he was in GP3 last year. And he came second. And then Frank got P3. Ninovich, he also came P3 again and got demoted.
Oh dear!
I think this time it was a bit more valid. Like he did crash into someone and knock them flying. So yeah,
bless him.
yeah. Race 3, again, tons of safety cars. Nakamura Berta, he screws up somehow. I didn't see it. They didn't show it, I think. But he was leading the race behind a safety car, and then next time you see it go round, he's in P10. So somehow he managed to do that. And then that allowed this Francot to get the lead. He holds on. Ninovich finally finishes on the podium and gets to keep it. He was a P2 and then Weldon P3. So yeah, it does mean that this Franco is leading the championship. Al Tahiri second, and then Nakamura Berta third. But it's only one race, one round. So
yeah,
I think those will be the names we'll hear, like based on that.
Probably, yeah.
And poor Ninovich, like that's mad. So GB3 again. I try to go quickly through it because it is just a list of names, but people I'm interested in, Abby Pulling.
Yep.
So she was at Rodin last year. Rodin were the team to beat. They've basically won it like the last 5 years. But she didn't do that well. She was very unlucky, I would say. But this is her second season now. She's at the best team. I think she has to be fighting for the championship to have a realistic chance of moving on to F3. But again, Rodin, best team. They seem to have these two drivers, Maxine Rem and Martin Molnar, who seem pretty decent. Then there's a few people doing F3 and GB3. A bit odd. Oh. So Jin Nakamura is doing F3 at the moment, but they have big gaps in their season, so I guess he's getting some more experience.
Yeah. Why not? If you can.
Deegan Fairclough, so he came third in GB3 last year, but has stuck around. So I guess we'd expect him to do well. Fluxa, he only joined for the final round last year and won a race, so he could be pretty exciting. Aurelia Nobles is there from F1 Academy, but I mean, based on this weekend, I don't think she'll be she'll be lucky to get points, basically, it seems.
Well, she was lucky to get points in F1 Academy.
Yeah. And the last person to mention is Nikita Bedrin.
Oh, yeah.
So he is the DS Penske reserve in Formula E.
He is. Yes.
So those are the people.
Why have I heard of him?
Well, because of that, I think.
Was he in F3? Is he in F3 as well? I don't think it's not just because of FE that I've heard of him. I've heard of him for some other reason. I think I got a card of him from my F1, F2, F3 cards that I collect.
He's not in F3 this year.
But he was in.
I think he did 1 or 2 races in F3 last year.
Yeah. I'm sure I've got a card of him, you know. Anyway, he's a person I've heard of.
Yes, he did the first 2 rounds of F3 last year and then disappeared. I don't know if it's because of his Russian background that maybe he got. There's a lot of people in the chat implying that was the reason why he wasn't in a higher series. But who knows? Yeah, let's see. He's been around here and there. Yeah, he did most of FREC. He did all of FREC last year, and he did most of FREC the year before. Oh, in fact, he had a full season in F3.
Yes.
2 years ago.
Yes.
Wow. So yeah, that's curious, isn't it?
Yeah.
In fact, he was in 2023 as well. He was basically a full season in F3.
Yeah, interesting that he's gone back down.
Yeah, it looked like so. Right, he basically skipped from Italian F4 straight into F3, so completely missed out the Formula Regional level, and has basically now had to go back and do it.
Yeah.
He must have serious money behind him if he's able to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, connections to Penske.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's doing pretty well in GB3 based on this weekend. He got the pole.
Yeah, but I would expect him to if he's done 2 seasons in F3.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yes, exactly. So, race 1, Bedrin starts on pole, drops back to P4, but then fights back for the win. Molnar and Rem, the 2 other Rodens, did pretty well. Abby Pullin DNF'd because her car broke. Race 2, Molnar doesn't start. Deegan Fairclough got the lead, but Bedrin retakes, then safety car, and then Fairclough stops on track, so he's out of it. Then there's a really good fight with Abby Pullin and Patricio Gonzalez and Jin Nakamura. Really, really nice move from Abby Pullin, but then she crashes into Gonzalez at the next corner. It was deemed a racing incident, I think. Gonzalez, I would put more of the blame on Gonzalez there, but yeah, I think it was. So again, they were fighting for like P4 or something, and it's really again, this not so good for Pullin if this keeps happening. Bedrin won the second race, Rem second, Nakamura third. Fluxa actually finished P3, got demoted 1 space. Very odd that they do it like that. But anyway, then race 3, that's the reverse grid. Someone called Jacques was on the pole, and basically they keep the pole, or they kept the lead till the very last lap when both Nakamura and somebody else, Fluxa, basically have DRS, and like it's 3 wide, and but he does actually get P2 in the end, and Fluxa P3, but yeah, loses to Jin Nakamura. So good weekend to be named Nakamura.
Yeah, sounds it.
You get points for overtakes in the reverse grid.
Ooh.
So Bedrin, he made up a load of places, like 10 places or something. He was like going to get loads of points, but then he got this penalty that like basically meant he only made up 1 place or something. So yeah,
it should count. It should count as you make the overtake.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but maybe maybe he only made the overtake because he cheated. But yeah, depends. I'm not sure what the penalty was for anyway. So Bedrin leads the championship, Rem second, Nakamura third. Abby Pullin has less points than Aurelia Nobles.
Oh God. Oh dear.
But she I mean, it's just the first weekend, and you'd hope that like she was challenging for the podium.
Luck.
Yeah.
Bad luck always trumps everything. even if you're very good at racing.
It's very lucky. Okay, really quickly, will we try to fly through some of the other series?
What, GB4?
GB4, I did watch some of the races. I don't remember anything from them.
All I know from GB4 is Dayton Coulthard is in it.
Yeah, Dayton Coulthard, son of
David
Coulthard.
Yeah. You can tell if you look at him.
Yeah.
It looks like his dad.
Yes, strong genetics. Who to
strong jawline?
Watch here. So this guy called Luke Hilton got pole for both quali sessions, but he got disqualified for ignoring yellow flags, so he has to start from the back. So then this guy called Fred Green started in pole in both races. Alex O'Grady, who's Irish, is my main interest in GB4. He starts P2 and P4, so pretty good. There's a few other Irish drivers. Jason Smith did pretty well, and someone called Connor Grant also did okay. But this Fred Green guy who started on pole, he won both the races. O'Grady and Smith actually did get podiums. And in race 3, I guess that's the reverse grid, Dayton Coulthard won it.
Nice.
So he gets a win. So in the Drivers' Championship, this guy Green is leading, then Holman, then Smith, and then O'Grady. So, I don't know. I'll be interested to see how they do.
Yeah.
In some of the series, we never really talked about IndyNXT or F3. But IndyNXT is already 4 races into its season. So there's a few kind of people emerging there. In F3, they've only done 1 race. But again, you can kind of see maybe who's going to star. My main interest in F3 is Fionn McLaughlin, the Irish winner of British F4. But I'm also curious how Freddie Slater will do, because he seems to be the golden boy, he's
the new big star.
Yeah.
He's the new Ollie Behrman.
Yeah. Which is sad because there's a Thomas Behrman,
that's brother. His actual brother, yeah.
So well, he should be the next Ollie Behrman. But...
Yeah, but he's like the Ralph Schumacher, isn't he? And Ollie's the Michael.
We'll see.
You can't both be good.
We'll see.
Look at Charles and Arthur.
Who else? Ugo Chukwu.
Oh, yeah.
He, he's done okay. Decent in British F4, decent in Italian F4. Kind of mid in FREC, but did win Macau, so that's interesting. And then Théophile Nail, who we saw win Macau. He also won Spanish F4, but was also sort of mid in FREC, so it's interesting that he kind of was able to step up. But it's a good thing because he got pole, so he's obviously pretty talented.
Yeah.
In the first race,
the other thing is when you just look at the results of FREC, you don't get the story. I say this all the time.
Yeah.
When you look at the results, you don't actually understand what happened. Like, he might have been mid, but he might have been like really unlucky, or he might have been in a shit car, or
Yeah, that's where you hope the teams are a bit cleverer than most people. Don't just look at the results on the paper and actually look. Yeah, so. Yeah, I mean, they obviously got it right because he did get pole, and F3 has a lot of returning drivers, so
I think if you win Macau, probably pay attention.
Maybe, although it's also a bit random, but just because it's such a dangerous
Dan
track.
Victim's won it twice.
Wow. Okay. That explains why you think that. Yeah, race 1 was reverse grid. It was won by Bruno Del Pinto, who is the nephew of Pedro de la Rosa, the F1 driver. Enzo Delaney was second, Brando Padua third. In the proper race, the feature race, we had good fight between Ugo Chukwu and Slater and Nail. And in the end, Nail, I think he ends up winning, but he jumped the start by like a millisecond or something. So he got a 5-second penalty. But because the race ended on the safety car, because of course it does, all of these races basically do that, he got screwed, so he fell like a lot of places. So Ogochukwu wins it, and then Slater second, and Taito Kato was third. But it's only one race, right? I mean, we'll have to see how the season goes. But yeah, Slater's fighting, Niall seems to fighting, Ogochukwu fighting, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. McLaughlin, nothing to write home about. Just yet.
Yes.
Right, very quickly. IndyNXT. 4 races in. Another Nikita is doing quite well. Nikita Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
He's won 2 of the races so far. His career is interesting. He did pretty well in USF 2000 and USF Pro 2000, the IndyCar feeder series. But then went to GB3 and F3 for a little bit, but did a couple of races in both of them, but never really impressed, and has now sort of come back to IndyNXT and is doing pretty well. Then Max Taylor is in P2. He's won 1 of the races. Timek Kucharczyk, he's in 3rd. He came P3 in Spanish F4 and P3 in GB3, and has finished in P3 in 3 of the 4 races so far in IndyNXT. So
interesting.
If I was a betting man, P3. I would say he's nailed on for P3. But he did spoil it by winning Euro Formula Open. So
well, you've got to win something.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So he's Polish. Yeah, he might. Yeah. Then the winner of the other race is this Alexandro Di Trulio, the Argentinian, who I mentioned might be the replacement for Colapinto once, if they can placate the Argentinian fans by having like one driver in a big series, that might open the door for Alpine to make a change. I expected a lot more from the people who did well last year. So Loki Hughes and Miles Rowe, they came 3rd and 4th last year. 1 and 2, of course, was Harger and Colette, who got promoted to IndyCar. So you think, P3 and P4 should win it this year, but they didn't really impress. And then there's the wonder kid, another wonder kid, Max Garcia, who's back-to-back wins in USF 2000 and USF Pro 2000. Ooh. So, yeah, he could be exciting, yeah. Yeah, so that's IndyNXT. That's where it's at. And, of course, the winner of IndyNXT normally gets promoted, right? Oh, basically always gets promoted into IndyCar. So chances are we'll see one of those names in IndyCar next year.
Yep.
I hope it's Kucharczyk, just because at some point...
You want people to suffer.
Well, maybe I'll be able, if I get to say his name a lot, maybe it'll make it a bit easier. Of course, it's IndyCar, so people have already said, well, his name literally translates as like cook, so they're going to call him Timmy Cookies or something. So.
Yeah, of course because it's America, and they can't say real hard names, so they just make them up.
Yeah. The Polish names they're normally
Timmy Cookies.
way better at than Pusher, for example. It's apparently too tough for them. Yeah. Good. There we go. That's the feeder series, the ladder.
Yeah.
It's a lot of racing series. It's hard to keep track
it's complicated. There's a lot of them.
I think
there's a lot of drivers in them.
Yeah, and most of these, like, of all the names we've said, chances only like one of them will make it to F1.
One will make it to F1 if they're lucky.
Yeah.
And they get the right time and the seat opens up.
Yes.
But if not, they won't.
Yeah. But I think I will, GB3, GB4, British F4, FREC. I'll try to keep an eye on these.
Okay, I won't.
But it helps if there's no F1 on.
Yeah.
Good. So let's finish on our usual features. Firstly, well, was it a waste of time watching?
Well, I watched one FREC race and it was about 20 minutes long, so that wasn't really a waste of time for me.
Fair enough. Yeah. I watched quite a few of them, and well, it's nice that on YouTube you can kind of go back and look at them later. So
go back, yeah.
And as you say, it's that they normally about 20 minutes. 15 of that will be safety car, so you can fast forward through. The
just
flags.
watch the quali. You probably get a decent idea of who's going to win.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
do we have a driver of the series, or driver of the day? What will we call it?
It's got to be Keen Nakamura Berta, hasn't it?
Yeah,
because he's just got a really good name.
Yeah, he's keen as mustard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then an attack mode. Could we have one?
I'm too tired to think of an attack mode.
Oh, fair
That's
enough.
my attack mode, is that I'm tired. There you go.
For watching one race.
For watching one race. No, I've not been sleeping because I'm too excited for F1 to come back.
Yeah, F1 finally back next week in Miami.
Yep.
F2.
And F2.
Surprise edition.
And Formula E.
And 2 races in Formula E from Berlin.
Oh,
and if
fantastic.
you feel like it, there's Elms and there's IMSA. So after, not a whole lot the last couple of weeks, suddenly there's way too much. But,
you've got far too much, so...
well, we'll definitely do F1, F2 and Formula E, so...
yes. Yeah. But it also kicks off the start of the most important month in motorsport.
Hanging around Indianapolis.
Hanging around Indianapolis, watching cars for 7 hours a day.
About 20 practice sessions. They're just going round and round. Oh.
Yes. Oh.
But still might watch some of them.
Yeah. It's worth it sometimes.
It's on YouTube, apparently. You can just watch the practice sessions or something. Tom Gamer was tweeting about it. Not tweeting. Whatever. Blue Sky.
Skeeting. Blue skeeting.
Great. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions or comments, our email address is theoutsidelinepod@gmail.com.
We are also on Blue Sky at The Outside Line Pod.
Otherwise, we'll see you next week for some F1 and some FE.
Yay!
And some F2. Yay!
Yay!
Bye.
Bye!